Yeah, let's go in 3, 2. Hello, and welcome to another lead singers leading on levitating musical magic shows while mean-mugging monkeys menacingly who spontaneously speak about being spawned in outer space. Uncle Gary secretly went to the record store the other day and sought out the newest Slim Shady single LP episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
What's up, dude?
They don't sell singles on...
They don't? I don't know.
vinyl.
I just needed another S word, dude. What's up, man? How are you?
Not much.
I'm going to
Good.
pour... I got to get a bourbon going, man. Dude, after the week that we've had, I'm
Crazy
telling
week.
you, dude, like... Gnarly, crazy busy. But I'm going to pour a bourbon. Would you like to hit them with that intro?
Joining us this week in the Days Grimm studio is two people from Space Monkey Records. We got Pat to the... Was that right frame?
I think so.
To the south.
To my right.
To the right frame, yeah. And then Meredith on the left.
Meredith, Meredith. How are you guys doing today?
We are just rocking.
That's awesome, dude. I get really nervous about spelling people's names, so I'm going to triple check at least a couple. Yours is easy. It's 3 letters, but...
You know, the funny thing is that statistically, creative people have a problem with spelling. Have you ever heard that? That's supposed to be... I know that it certainly applies
They
in my
always
case.
just told me I was dumb. He's not. He's like, yeah, he's stupid. He's dumb. I am stupid, but I graduated from college. I don't know what that means, but I did. So, how are you guys doing today, man?
Good.
Beautiful Sunday.
We wrapped up a Sunday in the trenches, the record trenches at Space Monkey, and it was like the first slower paced day that we've had, I'll bet, in a couple months. What do you think, Meredith?
Yeah.
You guys just been getting slammed.
We really have, because we're just coming off of a record store day, which
What the heck is that?
that's a big thing. Here's Meredith to tell you about record store day.
Yeah, Meredith.
So Record Store Day, it's a company, but it's a day. They have it twice a year. It's usually like the 3rd Saturday in April, and then you have it on Black Friday. So
This is a dual thing, like twice a year. This is
yeah,
happening?
they
Oh,
hit it
God.
twice a year. So their goal is to get people out of like Walmart and Target and off of Amazon and into the independent record stores.
All right, now you're talking my language.
So, they put out these limited edition pressings for all these.
Sick.
Like they put out a crazy list. This past record store day was like the best list that I had seen.
So, and if I may interject, you guys primarily, I mean, you take pride in your vinyl collection, correct?
No, not at all. Where'd you hear that?
But you're not moving a lot of compact discs.
There's still a big market for CDs. We sell a lot of them.
Really?
We do.
That's shocking. I knew a guy
yeah.
that had a CD player and it got stolen from him, and it just didn't make sense.
Well, I
to
know
me.
vinyl's making a comeback now.
Yeah.
I mean, vinyl is bigger than
Yeah,
Is it?
it's the bigger media.
It took over that market here a few years back.
So, fun fact that I learned about vinyls 47 and a half minutes ago, right before you guys showed up, to the T. Fun fact about that. I didn't know that they didn't make vinyls in America. I did not know that. That's kind of a bummer.
Well, I would say for the most part they don't, but
Yeah, so there's a company, it's like Chemical something TCP, and it's in Bangkok, is who predominantly puts out the highest volume of vinyl records.
yeah, and that's
Did you know that?
why there was a big slowdown during the COVID time.
The bird virus or the bat flu.
but not all vinyl is made
Yeah,
overseas.
yeah. Not all vinyl is.
No?
Especially vintage vinyl.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they doing some of that here, or what's happening? Is it?
Yeah, not G-Eazy. Wow, Eazy-E's albums were made here.
There's lots of albums that are made here.
Oh, I had
but
no
there's
idea.
tons
One
that are
died
made
of
like
AIDS,
in Canada. There's imports everywhere.
Had you only started doing your research a little bit earlier in the day?
I know, man. Well, again, my grandma died, so I'm going to lean on that for at least a month. I think I can get away with a lot of shit. Hey, Brian, why aren't you doing your job? My grandma died, and they just leave you alone.
You know, it's the perfect
understandable.
out.
I'm still in mourning, Judy. Why don't you give me some space? No, man, I'm really pumped to have you guys in here. We're big music fans. We actually have a vinyl that you guys sell on the floor here, right below you by the Strangers. Love those dudes. They came on the show months ago. I don't think I'm giving anything away by saying that they're working on new material, and I think there's I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's an album in the work. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I'm giving too much away there. But we're really tight with those dudes. So it's been a really neat, neat opportunity.
Our listeners that aren't in the Evansville area, what is Space Monkey Records?
Yeah. What are you guys?
Gosh, we're what's that word? A record store. You know, we actually started off, something that we put on Facebook today is we had a photograph of the store when we started in 2019. There's just a bunch of cardboard boxes with records, and today, comparatively, we've got electronics and all music media. I mean, you're talking about CDs. We sell cassettes and 8-tracks, reel-to-reel tape.
78s.
If it's recorded on, if it's music media and it's recorded, you know, we
I
sell
haven't
it.
seen I think I've seen one 8-track in my entire life. Yeah. One.
It is the world's shittiest medium. and I look back on it fondly because that was like the first music you could take with
you on the road.
You know, so it was like revolutionary. And the funny thing about 8-tracks is, you know, you'd be like jamming on the song that you bought the 8-track for in the first place, and then it slowly fades out in the middle of the song, and you hear this and then it fades back in, and that's the world of 8-tracks. So, you know, I can't imagine why anybody would buy one, with the exception of, okay, you got this 1965 Mustang Fastback with a factory 8-track.
Oh, right.
You know, you're going to need at least one 8-track.
Could you imagine the preventative maintenance on that thing? The actual deck itself? Like, if you had to go in there and fix that 8-track player, they'd have to dismantle. Like, oh my God, that'd be a nightmare. But
what do you think is like one of the rarest records that's been through your store?
Oh, I think we could single that out, and here's Meredith to tell you about it.
There's several, but I would probably pick Hickory Wind. And Hickory Wind was actually made here in Evansville, Indiana.
Oh.
On Garfield.
Shit.
And they only made so many of them.
It was recorded here.
Yeah, it was recorded here.
Gnarly.
Now, we're going back to like 1969.
Yeah.
It's a good year.
It was psychedelic, and what makes this record so incredibly expensive, which like
it's well over $1,000.
Yeah, the one we sold was, and this is just for a record, you know, an original from 1969. But
and you can find it on our store if you're looking it up.
I'm looking up the questions so I don't miss anything today. Sorry. This man will look up anything we want. God bless you.
The Hickory Wind, what really kind of, I guess, skyrocketed it to where it is today is after they recorded it, it went nowhere. It didn't sell.
It was like
they only had a few hundred copies.
It's like the opposite of viral.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
dead
what
stop.
happened was years and years and years later, these music enthusiasts discovered Hickory Wind, and they said, oh, man, how is this not a hit? We've got to have it. So now all those records have been long kind of water under the bridge, so they're hard to find. And when you do find one, particularly when it's in good shape.
Oh, is this the one?
Yeah, that's one we have.
Gigantic press.
We have that one, but we have already sold one. But yeah.
See, just in
And
the...
if you go to the back, you can see it. It says, it gives you the exact
Go down,
address.
Corey. There's another. There we go.
Yeah, right over there to the right. 113 Garfield, Evansville, Indiana.
yeah.
How cool is that?
We got that and MREs, you know? That's
There
And
you go.
Amulet is on there as well. That's another rare one. Hard to find. And that was an Evansville band.
Fascinated with records. Obviously, I own one that was given. We own one at the Days Grimm owns one, but we don't own a record player. So I think that's going to be an investment that I move into. Before we get too into the interview, we do like to do a tiny little. What's happening here? What are you poking at?
That is the Matrix number.
Oh,
So that's how
numbers
you
of the simulation
can
code?
find the exact pressing of it to find out where it was pressed and stuff like that. With that album, it's not too difficult because really it's that pressing and then one repress. But for like a Beatles album that was pressed 1,000,000 times, that Matrix number means a lot.
And if you play it backwards, well, I'm just kidding, because you can't play a Matrix number backwards.
What's that song? Another
Stairway
one
to
bites
Heaven.
the dust backwards. They said it says it's fun to smoke marijuana or something like that.
Oh, I thought you were. And then Stairway to Heaven in the third verse, I believe, if you play it backwards, there's like a sentence long, like something about Satan, and we played in the tool shed, and I can't remember. It's been a long time. Yeah. No, speaking of the Beatles, shout out to Yoko Ono. She doesn't get the respect she deserves. No, honestly, guys, before we get too into it, man, we do like to do this tasty little treat called the Death of the Week. Have you watched the show before?
I have not.
You have not? Corey, let's go ahead and roll into this week's Death of the Week, please.
The Death of the Week.
And then go ahead and pull up that far left tab, sir. And we're going to roll into this week's Death of the Week, brought to you by thedaysgrimm.com. Get you some super sick merch. That's not the tab. It's one of those in there, though. Get you some super sick merch. We got some mugs. That's the one. We got some mugs. We got some embroidered tees. We got a beanie. We got a trucker hat. We got... Dude, we're talking about adding a stripper pole with our logo on it. It doesn't matter, dude. You ask, we will deliver. And then also corn dog development with the super sick coasters. Corey, scroll just a little bit move the screen a little to the left, please. There you go. This week's Death of the Week, a 24-year-old man stabbed and killed his elder brother late Friday evening in Vivar over the decibel levels of a CD player. The man ran away in fear and is still in hiding. And his elder brother, 26, both bachelors live in Vivar. On Wednesday, brought a brand new CD player home but did not know how to operate it properly. As a result, the CD player always played music really loud. Much to his annoyance, he told his elder brother to contact a technician or read the manual thoroughly. But said he would find a solution himself. Typical dude. That's a typical dude move.
Not the manual.
Consequently, whenever switched on the player, the music was always loud, and the brothers would enter into a heated argument, said a neighbor. Unnamed neighbor. On Friday, as both brothers had their weekly holiday, they worked with a construction firm. Switched on the CD player after lunch. The music, as usual, was loud, as stated aforementionedly, which infuriated who brought a knife from the kitchen and stabbed his elder brother in the stomach. Died instantly.
You know,
Wow.
to think that this could have all been avoided with a good CD, you know, like Led Zeppelin or something.
No kidding, man. Let's get some Over the Hills and Far Away. You know what I mean? Let's do some Tangerine or something. What's your favorite Zeppelin song? Since you brought it up,
Oh man,
are you a Zepp head?
I am.
What's
I
your go-to?
am.
What's your go-to?
You know, They're like children. It's hard to single your favorite
It is.
out.
It is.
Oh, gosh.
But definitely if they have red hair, they're for sure not in the top 5. I'm just joking.
I just don't want to have to pick.
Okay, we won't. What? Let's talk about this death of the week. What in Sam Hill is going on here? Okay, so this takes place in the Middle East. I think they said Vivar, which I don't know where that's at. It's India, I believe, but I could be mistaken. So it's like Middle East, Asia area.
Probably during Ramadan, during that fasting time.
Yeah, they're like saying prayer, like, "Da, da, da," and he's like rocking out to like Katy Perry in his bedroom on lunch. Like, chill out, dude.
Yeah, dude, the call of prayer's on.
Yeah. Why don't you shut that KP down? Which, by the way, I don't condone that. I'm a huge KP fan. I don't know. What do you think about that? Would you stab somebody if their music was too loud? Like,
No.
That's a little much.
Yes.
That is a bit much.
That's no
Big
and a
sensitive.
yes. Pat, I'm with you.
I wouldn't go for a vital organ.
No, I'm going for like an elbow or something. Maybe
A
a
kneecap?
shoulder.
Maybe if Pat was rocking out to Britney Spears.
She always gives me shit about Britney Spears. Good music is good music.
I'm telling you, dude. That and people trip on me for liking KP, but dude, if I have a sangria and some Katy Perry, and maybe I got a nice dog over here, I'm giving a nice pet. You know what I mean? That's Nirvana.
Don't be a music snob. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't be a hater.
And again, shout out to Yoko Ono for the many years of great music.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm stabbing somebody over music, it's probably somebody with like car audio, not house audio.
Yeah, dude. I just feel like if you're gonna stab your brother, man, like, dude, like that. Okay, it's more than music. Like, there's something going on behind
He
closed
stole his
doors.
Lunchable back
Dude,
in the
he's like
third grade.
banging his girlfriend or something, and he's just the
they're
music.
twins,
The
and you
music
gotta
is the
mix up.
trigger. You know what I
It
mean?
set him over the edge.
Yeah, the music is the trigger.
Maybe he had a bunch of brothers and, he could spare one.
Right.
I'm more curious why we don't get to find out what it was he was listening to, because they took the CD into evidence.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe.
Why was that not annotated in this article? I don't know. Maybe it was like K-pop or something. So in that case, I would understand. I hate K-pop.
I love K-pop.
Do you really? I have a bunch
No,
of friends.
I don't. It sells great. I do love it.
She
for
likes
that
it
reason.
in that we sell it.
Right.
We got
Sounds
this
great.
huge stash of it.
They move products.
If we rewind back here in time,
Let's go to the timeline.
it'll be one question for Meredith, one question for you, Pat. But like, when do you think you found your love for music? Like growing up.
Who's going first? You didn't identify.
Yeah, you
Pat
Whoever
goes
wants to speak first.
Let's go Pat first.
I so vividly recall lying there in my bassinet when my mother, just by chance, threw on some Britney Spears, and I started feeling it down into my booties.
Right, Brittany was touching you.
Hold on a second. Hey man, hey Pat, I will never shit on anybody. Timeline's not adding up, Chief. I don't want to break your heart, but I feel like you're lying to me.
You know what? In all seriousness, I grew up in the freaking sweet spot of music. I mean, by the time that I started dialing in, which would have been, 68, 69, 70, it was just an explosion of classic rock. Only back then, it was just rock. See, it wasn't until later that it became classic rock. But, gosh, on the tail end of the Beatles, Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Tom Petty. Oh my gosh.
Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono. Yeah. Well, maybe not the first tier.
My favorite track of hers, actually it's a dual track, is Why and Why Not. Those are my two favorite Yoko songs.
Do you think classic rock, the genre, so like those old school cars, after like 25 years you can get the historic plate? Do you think that like an album has to be out
Yeah.
for 25 years to fall into that?
It does. It does.
And then you don't have to pay the taxes on it.
Right.
It
do, but
doesn't really work that way.
It's like $3.
Imagine if that worked with album sales. Yeah, this album's been out for 30 years, no more taxes on it. Like,
If only that worked with children. All right, dude. He's 18. Can I just pay $3 now? I don't know, man. Like, it's interesting. So that was when you found your love for music?
It really was. I mean, the music changed with the advent of the singer-songwriters. Were
The Yoko Onos?
I notice you keep circling
I'm
back.
going to mention her several times. You started this with the Beatles, so buckle up. It's going to be Yoko all day.
So, prior to the Beatles and a few others, I mean, all the pop songs of the day were almost like made in a factory, really. I mean, you had the groups that had the basic ideas, and then they would take them into the studio, or studio musicians would basically play the band parts.
And I know a lot, and then Meredith, we didn't forget about you. We're coming to you here in just a second. But I know that way back in the day, like Hank Senior days, that was like back when they were like
Doing Quaaludes?
Oh yeah, for sure. Quaaludes were definitely involved, I think. But no, they were like singing in a can. Like it was so rudimentary. Like, and they were like, as they were singing in the can, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were like, they would hit record on the vinyl and hit record on the machinery, and then as they were recording it, like etched it into whatever it was that they were recording on.
Well, when they made the masters, but I don't want to portray myself as an expert in the way this is all
Fabricated.
made, because I don't know. Although I did go through Jack White's factory there.
Oh, that's sick.
In
He's a neat
Nashville,
dude.
and it was badass. Anybody that's got extra $40 or whatever the cost of admission is, do that.
It's gone up since COVID, but yeah, it's probably like 160 now. But
I knew it was more than $20.
I'm joking. Everything's more expensive now.
Everything is.
And then Meredith, where do you think you found your
Where'd you find your love for music? Or when and where?
Man, I don't know how
That's
to
a
say that.
toughie.
Without, it's not tough. I just don't know how to say it without it sounding depressing. But
Oh, dude. I love being
She
sad.
loves sad music.
no. I just had a really fucked up childhood. So music really, got me through a lot of stuff. A lot. And I was raised by my grandma and a little bit of my dad and my mom. So I had like all these different people's, musical interests.
Did you have pets growing up? You did?
Yeah.
They help you kind of get through tough times too?
Yeah.
Dude, so like my dogs, plural, I have 3. They get me through like anything. Like my grandma died. They were there. It's great. Pets are awesome.
Pets are awesome.
And then music is great in the same aspect too. So that's really interesting. And that's neat. And it really does have that way to...
And then when do you think you guys met?
Yeah, how does this...
When did me and Pat meet?
Yeah.
How does this...
Well,
We met in prison.
Damn. Both murder?
It was a co-ed prison.
He said, I was playing chess and asking if anybody needed help.
no, we met in 2019.
Oh, dang.
And when was Space Monkey Records opened?
2019.
Yeah.
And when did the Days Grimm start?
2019. No.
No, actually, yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019. We got an LLC in 2020.
Since we've covered when we met, the funny thing is, the number one question we would always get...
Are y'all related?
Like the first year and a half is this your daughter? Is this your daughter?
I was going to say
Is this-
cousin,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Is your dad here? Yeah. Is this your daughter? So this one day, this guy comes in, and he's a jokester. You could just tell.
Right.
My people.
My people. Yeah. I don't take anything too
our
serious.
people.
Yes, 100%.
So he's like checking out, and he says, "Is this your daughter?" And I looked at him real serious, and I said, "That's my wife, man." And he cracked up. He says, "Good for you, man."
That's awesome.
I love
awesome.
telling that story because to me it's hilarious.
Right.
The other way around, though, you could be like, no, that's my sister. They would also be like,
She's always had it so easy.
they would also be like, how
Yeah,
old
that's my
is your
twin.
mother? Well, stepmother, twice removed, had sex with my uncle. I don't know. It worked out. She's my sister. She's my sister. No, man, that's neat, though. So how did you guys meet in 2019? Did you say that already?
She responded to a help wanted ad.
on Craigslist.
She was the first one. And we were talking the other day. I said, you were really brave to come in. I mean, it was there at the store, but it's just she and I, and there wasn't really anything in the place because. Yeah. And I said, you were really brave to come in.
Yeah, it's kind of.
She says, "Well, I told my grandpa where I'd be," and I said, "Yeah, but you never showed up."
Right.
I love a good dark murder joke. Oh God, fucking.
Is that a murder joke or a basement joke?
And the funny thing is, she and I are both freaks about watching what my nephew calls murder porn, which the shows, the
crime shows,
crime detective shows.
True crime.
You do
They
have
call
to
that
clarify.
true crime
You have to
nowadays.
clarify.
Identification Discovery
Yeah,
Channel.
because
It's
you
like our
guys
number
would
one.
leave and Brian would go straight to Pornhub and he's like, murder porn.
Like
No.
He's like,
not
I've been
literally.
Darker than we would like to
Well,
talk about on this show.
he's been sober from killing for about 10 years, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
10 years since you got back from Afghanistan.
Coming up on 11. Coming up on 11, I think. Yeah,
Get
murder,
that sobriety badge,
murder free since 21-3. That's what I tell everybody. No, dude. So yeah, that's a really creepy situation. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm like a pretty young lady and I respond to a Craigslist ad and then I show up at said business and there's like 4 vinyls on the wall, and you're the first face that I see.
There was nothing in there.
The first thought that I think is this is the last face that I will ever see, and I'm like, yeah, this is where murders happen for sure.
There was an old boy that come through with the camera, and he was doing a pod piece, and
I like a pod piece,
and he's who owns it, and he says, well, we need to get her in more because every record store I do, it's always some sad old guy, well, yeah, that's my part of it.
Well, when so you guys get the building and you meet, how much? So Pat, like, do you have like a layout for the store already, or Meredith, do you adjust the layout?
of course. You have to add a little feng shui, right?
Yeah.
A lot of feng shui.
She's like bathrooms need paper towels.
I think she's
and-
politely
No.
trying to find a way to tell you that you don't have good feng shui.
No, that's
No.
not so.
No.
No?
We
Are
work
you,
I know
together
better
very
than
well.
that.
are you so what do you think about the feng shui in here? I try to pride
I
myself in
like it.
I like it.
it's very dude cavey, you know what I
I
mean?
think that you could add more to the ceiling.
I know. I need lights and stuff. We're going to add lights up top here. So we're going to have better lighting in here eventually. And then what do you think? Like maybe some
trapeze, maybe?
We were talking about a live band that would come out of the
like
closet.
a trapeze artist?
There you
Play
go.
Pole.
the show intro music.
Dance and pole.
I told you don't, Pat, you're giving too much away. It's going to have our logo on it. Thomas is going to do a $5 dance. No, it'll be great.
Yeah, if anybody's on it, it's me.
Yeah, you probably have the most acrobatic experience. What do you think about strip clubs?
I
Actually, this is a
have
question for
never
both of you.
been to one, but
Pat, I
I
don't-
have read about them.
This is his best Forrest Gump impression. No, I'm joking.
The funny thing is, my wife, she wasn't a stripper. My wife never
not
gave
going
me
well.
a hard time on those rare occasions that I would go to a gentleman's club.
It's always a gentleman's club.
Because she knew that is like the least likely place I would get laid.
Yeah, that checks out.
Sure.
That checks out. What's your thoughts on ladies dance? No.
Yeah. Let me see how
They're
you phrase this.
entertainers. They're
Exotic
entertainers.
exotic dancers. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. What do you think about exotic dancing, just in general?
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Me neither. I've been to a strip club like 3 times in my life. 2 times in El Paso, Texas. Gross. 3rd time, bachelor party here in Evansville. I won't disclose the name, but gross. Not a fan. Not a fan, man. It just seems kind of like grimy. Yeah, dude. Thomas, what are your thoughts on exotic clubs?
I'm banned from them.
He's a big fan. He's a regular. He has a punch card.
not
He has a punch
regular.
card.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, so much so that once it's fully punched, they don't let you in anymore. They're like, yeah, you've used your limit, okay?
Let's not get into details. I don't want to gross anybody out here. So anyways, we just started talking about strip clubs for no reason.
No, because they played music there. I see now.
They have a good music selection. I've heard a lot of Rob Zombie in strip
I
clubs,
think
dude.
it depends on the dancer.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. And she gets out there and starts going to town on some Rob Zombie. I'm kind of like into it for the music. Like,
I think that's why most guys go there.
no. All jokes aside, man. So you guys meet in 2019. You have this super shady meetup, and everybody's really on edge on both sides of the table. Nobody knows what's going on. There's not a single record in the store, but we got brick and mortar at this point. So what makes you pull the trigger, Meredith? What makes you? How did he sell you? Like candy in a van, or like what was the thing that like where you were like, okay, I'm in? You know, like all right,
I honestly
dude, I'll do it.
I don't remember. We just
What did you guys just like mesh really well when you met?
Yeah, we just started talking and just started
Gelling?
working.
Just vibing.
And,
Yeah, you know, her claim to fame is she gets down to work. You know, it's she and I have that in common.
I like a
wish
hard
I
worker.
could say that when I was her age, I had that kind of work ethic. I didn't.
You have
So
it now.
do you-
You have it now though?
I do.
You got a good work ethic. Okay,
Do
that's
you
important.
guys have like a record or play music in the store?
yeah,
No,
we have our own.
We band music
You guys
together.
you guys
was
put
gonna
out
say,
we
This
play
is
our
a
own radio
workplace,
station.
No music.
do you guys rotate who like has control of the aux in store?
No,
No,
it's
yeah.
our own radio station.
Can you elaborate more on that?
So it's Space Monkey Radio. It's an online radio.
Oh, no way. Is this able to find on your website?
You just go to spacemonkeyradio.com or you go to what is it? iLive?
I heart
Live-
music.
No,
Live
Live
365.
Live
mobile
365. Yeah.
Oh shit.
You can download the Live 365 mobile app and search Space Monkey
Oh.
Radio, or you can go to live365.com that way.
Nice, but there's no link to get to that from your webpage.
I mean, you can click on it from our Space Monkey Records.
We'll cover that. We'll make sure we have the link to this.
But there's a direct link, spacemonkeyradio.com.
So if you think about it, Space Monkey Records is the only record store
In the
around
tri-state,
in a-
basically.
No. I didn't say that. But in a very long way that serves up the rock and roll for free. Because if you got an internet connection, you dial in, man.
What are we looking at? Yeah, it's that top one there,
First,
Live 365 Space Monkey Radio. Let's not play anything. Hopefully it's not going to play in our ears.
No, it
I don't
won't.
want to get any kind
So
of...
what makes you guys go from a record store to also having this radio feature?
Because
Well,
we do everything.
because we needed our own in-store soundtrack with only Space Monkey commercials. Now, we only play them like once every 30 minutes. 20-second spot.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's like super minimal advertising.
All right, follow-up question here, Pat. What's the Days Grimm got to do to get a commercial in there?
Well, you know, we've
Oh, yeah,
assembled
Meredith is laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm dead serious.
We,
All right, no, I'm
we
joking.
have assembled a fact-finding blue ribbon committee to entertain all good ideas,
Okay.
and you know we could have a look at that.
Because you guys have, like you were saying, you guys have good foot traffic. Like vinyls
We
are...
really
We
do.
do.
And you're one of the only in town that are selling vinyls on the scale of which you're selling them. You can find them in like thrift shops and stuff, of course, but like the selection you have is ridiculous.
When we opened up, we had about 50,000 records. Today, we have over 300,000 records.
Wow.
That's an
Now-
aggressive number.
Now, let me explain that is kind of... we've-
this in. Don't be afraid of
All right.
guy. You can play with him and just get it comfortable. Like I'm going to tilt.
Hey there, little guy.
twist the mic towards you too if you want.
We have 8 vendor mall locations in Kentucky and Indiana.
I don't know what that means, but I got you.
Well, you know, like a Finders Keepers or a
Losers Weep. Weepers.
All peddlers, looky, his and
They're-
hers.
all the big box stores, like where there's a Kmart, Do you ever go into the...
I hate Kmart.
They cleared them out and made them vendor malls.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
they got all these booths in it.
I don't
so-
shop. Now, this is clear in this
He's like,
conversation.
fry
Never shop,
music. And he's
okay.
like, oh, I fucking hate them. There's not one within 4 hours a year.
They all suck.
So I'm guilty. I'm very guilty in the way that I receive my music, in that I pay a license fee to Spotify.
Well,
And
which is a
understand.
good question. How much do you think the streaming era has hurt physical copy sales?
I don't know. Whatever's going on is we're loving it because we've had just a huge resurgence of vinyl.
What was it like basically opening a store right at pandemic start?
Well, we got off to a good start and an encouraging start. And then there was leaner times when they made us lock the doors.
See, which I don't understand because I,
man.
feel like music should be like a essential.
Now,
But it forced...
exactly essential business. In fact, me being the entrepreneurial spirit that I am, I went out and bought a bunch of cleaning supplies.
Look at
and
you.
now we're gonna sell those, and hence we become an essential business.
Hey, listen here.
Well, that didn't
suckers.
really fly.
No, they didn't like. They didn't like that. They didn't like
Did you
that.
try to tell them to suck it or no?
You try for a while, and then you can't fight City Hall.
Uncle Sam's a bitch sometimes, dude.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It didn't make any sense
Speaking
to me,
of
but
the-
we got through it.
Speaking of the foundation of this, while we're on this foundation portion of the, I don't know why you're laughing. I didn't even make a
I
joke.
assume you're going to the foundation of the country. Is where
No.
went.
I don't want to upset anybody in the room. So what my question is okay. So you're starting this business in 2019. How do you come up with the name Space Monkey? Now, is this like a play off of the band The Monkees, or like what happened? How did we come up with this name? Did
Well-
you have a play in this, Meredith, or no?
No.
You didn't.
No, this was thought of way before me.
I will take this one just because I thought of it. Well, I stole it from someone else. What had happened was my son had taken a job in Portland, Oregon. And I drove his butt in a U-Haul truck out to Portland with all his earthly belongings.
That earthly is a good term for Portland, Oregon. That's a weird spot there,
Well, we
dude.
come rolling into town, and he says, we got to find some place with internet because I don't even have an apartment.
You got to leave Portland to get internet, dude.
So
They don't do anything industrial.
we fall into the Space Monkey Cafe,
No.
which was a cool little cafe. It was like it was all right. It was nothing to write home about, but I thought, man, that is like the coolest name
It's a far out
I've
name.
ever heard.
Yeah, it's like-
because
yeah.
you could do so much with it from an advertising standpoint.
100%.
So, and then it was 8 years later that it kind of reemerged in my brain.
You were like, man, I could go for a coffee.
And
Oh, yeah, that's what I'll name the place. No,
so like I'm leaving the accountant's office, and just as an afterthought, I said, "Do you think I should get that name trademarked?" And he stopped and he paused and he says, "Yes, I do, and here's why." He says, "You can use it for like 5 years, and if somebody else trademarks it, they can make you quit using it." And so I got those wheels turning, and we have a national trademark.
So
on
you
it.
did a decent amount of research into the market of like, would a record store be profitable now?
Well, to hear me tell it, I did. Actually, I started selling records about 16, 17 years ago in the vendor mall capacity that you hate, so I hate to bring this back up.
If I'm being totally honest, I still don't think I understand the vendor mall concept, but let's just pretend that I do, unless I don't know what's happening.
So you're telling me that you've never been in to a Trader Baker's or a Finders Keepers,
Like a
or
Studebaker? Like a car?
No.
No, I don't know what we're
You've
talking about.
never been to a place that has a bunch of booths.
There's one here on the west side.
There's
now.
also one in Newburgh, Orchard, whatever.
Shopper's Paradise on
You guys are
Barker
just
Avenue.
naming
Right over
cars
here.
and
Place,
food.
they're buildings, so it's like a warehouse, and you can rent a booth and you can sell stuff there. But you less the prices, and whoever walks up to the checkout, they're like, "Oh, that came from booth 16. I'm gonna make sure booth 16 gets that money."
You know,
Oh, you're talking about
might-
like a flea market type
like
situation.
a
Yeah.
flea market, but not
Different.
so much.
Where we don't have to be there.
Well, so I have to preface with, or let's lead into this conversation with, I grew up in a trailer. So that being said, flea markets, it's like basically where I grew up. So
Well, and the difference between a flea market and a vendor mall is they've got their own cashier, so I didn't have to be there.
Oh, nice.
All I had to do was stop by periodically, fill the bins with records when they got low.
sick.
So for 15 years, I did that.
So that's how you started the vinyl business.
That's right.
That's how you
'Cause
got the idea.
Exactly.
And do you do Space Monkey, the name, like LLC,
No,
trademarked?
that did not come until the brick and mortar got here.
Okay.
But
2019.
My problem is that I've got the heart of a musician, but I've got no talent to go with it.
That sucks,
feel that.
man.
Yeah.
I don't have any talent either, if it makes you feel any better.
So when you are a creative individual, you figure out ways to be involved. So for me, about 15 years ago, I started a DJ company because I could punch buttons,
Oh,
So
yeah.
we did a lot of wedding work and, the photo booths and I had some other DJs that would work with me, and we might, at the height of it all, we might do 4 parties on a Saturday night.
100%. We're just going to take a quick timeout. And we're back. All right, guys.
So how does the logo come about? Because you got these sweet koozies,
Yeah.
and they also have your logo on the bottom.
Yeah.
Man, I lay awake at night dreaming this stuff up. I really do.
Are psychedelics involved?
No, not so much. Not
Okay.
so much. That was back in the day,
Okay.
That's back when
Yeah.
he was listening to Britney Spears.
back in the 70s.
I learned a little
bless
bit
you.
about
Thank
graphics on the computer and kind of taught myself how to do that, and so I play with that a lot.
So Meredith,
Okay.
what do you think your biggest role in Space Monkeys is?
Space Monkeys?
Space
Oh,
Monkey
man.
Records.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
2 of them, plural.
Ah, that checks out.
Yeah. Do you identify as a space monkey?
I would say my biggest role would probably be online.
You're doing a lot of the social media work and stuff?
Like, that's my website right there on the screen.
Oh,
so
okay.
you made the website?
I did.
Wow.
It's fully functioning e-commerce website. I do the Discogs.
What's a Discog?
Discogs. It is like
The eBay,
the
of
eBay,
records.
but just media. Just media.
records and tapes. And
Records, tapes, CDs, stuff like that.
Do they do a lot of taxidermy on there or no?
Yeah, I noticed you guys have a wolf on a.
Oh,
a
yeah, the
surfboard.
smoking coyote.
That is part of the Bob Foltz.
There's a picture, actually.
influence.
Hey, real quick, while you're pulling this picture up, I got a bone to pick with fucking eBay. And there's an issue with this fucking dog and pony show they're fucking running. Let me tell you something, dude. If you're selling a squirrel that's been taxidermied,
I have
and it's,
one if
and
we want it.
and it's holding a basket, and
Not
it's got
holding a
little
basket.
eggs. It's like an Easter squirrel. I was trying to get it for like an Easter episode. I wanted it like in the scene or whatever. I was the highest bidder. Somehow I did not end up with said squirrel.
Well, yeah, they have a limit. It has to be $75 or it doesn't
Yeah.
sell.
I don't understand eBay. So first and foremost, get fucked, eBay. That's all I gotta say.
Well, no, so
It irritated me. I wanted
Smokey,
that squirrel,
Smokey
dude.
the Coyote, but
What's the
like
coyote.
that's the stuffed coyote they
Oh,
have on a
Scroll up a
surfboard.
little bit, Corey. Scroll up a little up the other way.
But I was gonna
Oh,
say,
okay.
have you seen Cocaine Bear?
I did.
And
I
they
went
got
to the theater to see it.
That's a hell
well,
of
they
a
have the
movie,
real
dude.
life bear stuffed in Kentucky.
Yeah, it's out
Or Ohio.
It's out front of.
It's not out front. It's in a store.
I thought it was in a
No, it's in the
federal
store.
building. Okay, yeah. But they did stuff it. The story is actually, the movie was gnarly. The story is actually slightly less exciting. But yeah, it was like on cocaine.
So what's the story behind your Smokey the Coyote?
Yeah, how did
The
we get
Bob
here?
Foltz influence. For the people that are born and raised in Evansville of a certain age. If you go back,
I'm triggered. I feel like you're excluding me. I want to be included, not excluded.
If in the early 70s, Bob Foltz, the guy that had Funky's nightclub,
Okay.
originally started with a record store, and that is shown on the screen, and it was called Foltz City Boutique. Now, I was 15 years old when I fell into that store with a couple of my buddies, and you go in, it was really a head shop and a record store, and it had carpet on the walls, and it had stained glass, and it had stalagmites hanging from the ceiling. I mean,
That's right.
People just didn't do that back then.
That's an OSHA
And-
violation now, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they made him take the carpet off the wall, but they had gals that were like beading jewelry and all the young
Gypsies.
girls,
Gypsies.
not
Travelers. I don't know the proper term for the gypsy. I don't think you can say gypsy anymore. I think I bleep gypsy, but I think you can
What?
say.
Why?
I think I heard the other day you're not allowed to say gypsy anymore because they're like a group, so you have to say traveler.
Yeah, but they're like Amish of like Romania.
the Amish don't sell their children, dude.
So
Okay,
I mean,
so
the
they're
Chinese
different.
do it. So why can't the?
Oh my god.
So you fall into Full City.
Foltz City Boutique, and I can tell you
Going
most
sideways.
definitively, if it was not for that record store, Space Monkey Records would not exist.
Do you think they instilled like your love of the environment of like where records are sold and
Well,
the
I mean,
community?
I think back to that store, and literally the
Chills.
hair on my arm stands up because I had never been into a store that spoke to me and, in
Right.
my generation, because that kind of a store just wasn't in Evansville.
Now you brought a bunch of pictures in today, and we're looking at one now on screen. I'm just curious who this Willy Wonka looking fella is up here.
That is Bob Foltz himself.
Oh, that's
And
Bob Foltz.
So he started the record store, and with the success of the record store, he started Funky's nightclub, which ended up, even though it was a discotheque, but
not everyone's
still,
favorite. Yeah.
not everyone's favorite, but that is where I met my wife, and we're together to this day. Good choice for me, for her. But this nightclub, Funky's, was like the largest nightclub in the state of Indiana. Can you
Wow.
imagine that here in Evansville?
That's Pat. I don't want to like bum you out. It's not really like saying a lot. I don't know. Indiana kind of sucks.
Well, I don't know.
There's like a million people in the whole state.
But we're lacking
Now,
here so bad.
I know,
stuff,
dude.
The Wolf up there. I have like bought up all kind of Bob Foltz, Foltz City, Funky's artifacts. Stained glass. And the Wolf actually
Coyote.
used to,
Yeah.
that furry critter. It
like-
used to sit on his desk, on
Wow.
He's like,
Bob Foltz's desk.
that Sasquatch right there. No, that's just a dog. That's just a dog, Pat. Just a dog. Yeah, that Godzilla replica. No, that's still just a dog.
Got tired of having to let it out at night. Had to put it down.
Question.
Right,
man.
got it stuffed and it doesn't pee in the house anymore.
Shout out to Werewolves in London. Love that song. Okay, so where do you find some of this stuff? You said
Well,
you're
you
like
know,
buying up all the artifacts, but where do you find them at
They
over the years?
They find me because people.
That's ominous.
Yeah, I've collected jukeboxes for years and years, and after you do it for a while, they tend to find you.
Okay, that's a fair question. I have a friend that collects cookie jars.
What's that like
so-
when you're getting inventory? Are you on eBay, Meredith, looking for records of like specific?
I have really steered away from eBay over. As the years pass, I get away from it. They are way too proud with their percentages that they take. It's almost not even worth selling on there. But no, I don't really mess
So that
with
most of them come from like a distributor of sorts.
our vinyl.
Yeah.
Our new vinyl comes from distributors. We get
And
vintage vinyl
Meredith
everywhere.
orders all that.
Where do you get all your like Yoko original vinyls? Do you guys have Yoko in the store?
People just give them to us. That's
and they're coming,
that's where Yoko comes
and they come
from.
in with like cotton in their ears from bleeding.
Goodwill drops the record off every week.
They give them to me. Say, well, we're good on Yoko.
They're donating Yoko.
The last person that heard this record was the last person that heard that record was Yoko Ono herself. No, man. So okay, one thing we got to touch on for sure is you guys do live performances at Space Monkey, correct?
Yeah.
Now I've seen this on you. You guys do an excellent
You
job.
guys have had the Chugs and the Strangers play there before.
Yeah,
And
the cold
stairs.
stairs.
Cold Stairs. I'm coming for you. We keep.
They're on a European tour right now, so they're busy.
They need to come back. Okay.
Yeah, they killed it, man. They were so good.
They were great.
They are phenom. They are phenom. They are phenom.
They are great.
They're so great. I'm not even going to say the whole word. They are phenom. I love those dudes. I want to get them in here really, really bad. But yeah, so you guys have had 3 very successful groups come through and play shows. So what does that what was
how
that
do you
like?
add a venue for these bands?
Yeah, what does
Well,
the
our
setup look like?
Well, we have a second store, which is just 2 doors down from Space Monkey. And it's really our closeout store, and we knew we wanted to do a little bit something different.
What does that mean? Closeout store.
So it has like a bunch of our 45s are back there and records that are at a really low price.
45s is in like
7-inch records,
Okay.
singles.
45 RP.
I was like, are we talking 1911s here?
like single track records, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they do
like
sell
they go
singles.
that go in jukeboxes. The 7-inch.
Fucking suck it.
Which jukeboxes? Do you have a bunch of jukeboxes still?
We do have some jukeboxes.
You know, I guess right now I maybe have 7 of them, and they're not. That doesn't mean they're for sale. I've got a couple of them for sale, but I like them. I want them.
But if somebody walks in, if someone walks in with $10K and they're like, "Give me that goddamn jukebox,"
they're leaving with it.
that son of a bitch is in the truck already. I had Meredith loaded up, dude.
The back store, the closeout store, is what we call Roadkill Music Media Salvage. So
that's
up
a
front,
dark name. That's a dark spot.
It's got like an
You should
armadillo
see the
out front.
logo.
Yeah, there's
It does. It has a dead armadillo. I swear to you.
there's like a crinkled up raccoon.
It's
raccoon.
like
yeah, dead.
line art, you know, a
That's
critter
terrible.
with 4 up in there. But up front at Space Monkey, we really specialize in the more rock-oriented stuff because that's what this guy likes.
Oh, okay.
Now, we do jazz, we do some country,
Some
we do
jazz
all.
flute. Okay.
But what we do really great is rock. So if it falls too far out of that genre, we'll send it back to the closeout store because we're taking in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of albums every week, you know,
Right.
Sometimes thousands.
Like the local bookstore, your brother's bookstore, they have a shelf for local authors. Do you guys have like a local section in your store?
Ooh, good question.
We do.
Good question.
Yeah.
And it's just a whole rack of boxes of local folks.
We don't have
I don't know about
boxes
a
and
whole
boxes. But I mean, I would say most local artists have their stuff on CD, I guess, because it's probably more cost effective. But we have a section for local CDs and then local vinyl as well.
What do you think? Okay, so do you think that, because honestly, like if I'm a local musician, much like how we produce this podcast, it goes out to an RSS feed, which is entirely digital. If I'm a local musician, I'm almost exclusively dropping my music in digital form. Do you find that, or rather, do you think that that is why there's a lack of tangible local music because most are dropping digitally? Does that make sense, that question?
It does.
Okay.
But I wouldn't know. We just now started dabbling into the
local
live local music scene.
Yeah,
so.
and a lot of the groups that are kind of making their way are offering their stuff in vinyl.
And CD and cassette.
Yeah.
What do you guys know about Atlas of the Dogs?
I've been trying to get them in.
Yeah?
I haven't been able to get them in yet. But
Have you heard their newest single, Running?
I have not.
My God.
I should go listen to it.
Call it a bop. Call it a bop, guys. You know what a bop is, Pat?
I do.
Yeah, it's a bop. Call it a banger. 10 years ago, they would have called it a banger. I love running. You guys got to
Yeah,
get
you
out.
love running.
We were
run
actually
every day.
going.
I do love running.
When we had the Strangers and the Chugs, the day before was supposed to be them. But the timeline didn't work out. So we could only have the two bands on the week of Record Store Day.
Jax is my dude. He is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I love-
Brian has to tape to his thigh when Jax comes in.
I do. Yeah.
Oh.
For length. You know what I mean? See where we're going with that? So, anyways, away from the genitalia. Okay, so one thing I did want to ask. So where are you guys physically located? For the folks that don't know. Where is the brick?
We're in a store.
That is Forrest Gump Part 2. No, I'm just joking.
On the corner of Riverside and 41.
Riverside and 41. You are close to...
Right across from the U-Haul.
Yeah, you're really close
and
to that.
Frontier,
Yeah.
You're really close to that little shop with all the booths.
the
yeah.
antique place.
Antique mall. We're right next
a
door.
vendor mall.
Is that what you're calling that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a ton of those.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
that-
I'm dead serious.
That, my friend, is a vendor mall.
I've been to a ton of those.
That's a vendor
Like
mall.
his and hers?
Yeah, we're
Stop
in there.
it. No.
Literally,
You're
she
stealing,
said the name
you're
of his and
stealing-
hers.
The one on Diamond?
Yeah, we're
yeah,
in there.
I've been there. I've been to a ton of those.
Have you ever seen the blue neon room with all the records in it? I mean, literally blue neon.
Yeah.
That's
Big
us.
giant record turntable
Yeah.
on the wall.
And a jukebox in there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been to 100 of those.
You're
God, why-
lying.
why don't you
We're
guys-
only
You're a
in
liar.
NATO.
They own all 100.
No, I swear that's where I bought this table. That
Oh,
your drinks and stuff are sitting on.
Wonderful treasures.
I didn't
to be
understand.
had.
I thought we were talking about Kmart. I fucking hate Kmart.
Well,
Oh
it's
my gosh.
the bones, the old deserted Walmarts and the old deserted
Oh.
Kmarts. They go in there and they build all these.
God bless
booths.
you. Well, why didn't you say that, Meredith? Jeez.
I
literally
did.
Meredith.
I did. And you said no.
You said Kmart, and I fucking
I didn't
shut.
say Kmart.
Someone did, and I just shut everything down.
Brian's like, Sears? Fuck Sears. Sears has been closed 6 years, but fuck 'em.
Rest in peace, Sears. So you guys are located on Riverside and 41, really close to the not his and hers, antique mall and the
That's
U-Haul. Word on the street, a little birdie told me we're talking about a possible change in location or supplemental location, or what is there?
A new location?
What's happening?
A second location on the east side of Evansville, but the problem is rent is just crazy expensive. So my thought is, if I'm paying crazy rent, I might as well buy a building on the east side. So, it's slow going because I'm just too old to misstep at this point in my life.
Right.
What do you think about a west side location?
East
East is where the
I wanna
money's
be.
at. I get you. I get you.
When I opened the doors there 3.5 years ago, I didn't know whether it'd fly or not.
Oh,
I really
it's
didn't.
taken off.
You're
You're a Wright brother now.
Yeah, you're past the Wright brothers.
shout
out
it
to the-
has exceeded our expectations. So we would, given the right fiscal conditions, we'd like to open a second East Side store.
All right, real estate folks, if you're hearing this, you got a possible fish on the line.
What do you think one of your favorite things about running a record store is for both of you? So
I don't know. What do you think, Meredith?
Yeah, Meredith, you go first. He's been going first all night. You go first.
I would say all the people that I get to meet, all different walks of life, all different ages, they all have different stories.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about it.
And then you, Pat, what do you think? What's one of your favorite things that comes from owning such a phenom record store?
People that buy music are, for the most part, 99% are like the coolest people on earth.
Well, let's...
They really are. Now, I'm not
only
saying
joking.
there ain't some bad apples in there. There are.
Yeah.
But, that's more of a people thing.
People
a
that
music
collect
thing.
Yoko Ono. These guys are fucking assholes.
It's we have just met some incredible people. I mean, the the loyalty that we've seen. One of the things that we hear kind of over and over is, yeah, we were flipping records over at this place or that place. We felt like we were cheating on you. Don't feel like that. That's what record people do, is flip records,
Yeah,
Right.
man. You guys are just lovers of music. You know what I mean? If you love a vinyl, which that's why I really want a record player. Because if you really love music, you don't get the same experience of listening to it digitally as you do on the tried and true, the vinyl just gives you more emotion.
Well, let me just take this opportunity to tell you that when you get ready, we've got over 30, count them, over 30 new and used turntables in stock. In fact, you would have to drive for over 100 miles to find a larger selection.
Question. That's outstanding. So I know where I'm going. Secondly, do you do both analog and digital
Yes.
record players?
Sure.
You do? Outstanding. Is there a benefit to one over the other?
Yeah, one sucks and one's really good.
Which is which? You tell me, because I don't know. I'm
going to let Meredith take.
What do
that
you
question.
think, Meredith?
Why are you going to put it off on me?
Digital or analog record player? Which way do you lean?
Here's the thing.
I don't.
He just
I don't
stole the
really
answer
think
from
that I
you?
could.
He was like,
Y'all hand it to me, and I don't want it. I don't. You take it.
We listen to vinyl and we listen to MP3s too. I mean, the newer turntables, some of them come with software where you can convert your vinyl to MP3s.
To a digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have, and I was really joking because they're both outstanding in their own way.
You're saying analog is the way to go, I think, right? I don't know.
I'm old school. I'm always going to favor that, but not so much.
It depends on what you're looking for.
Hold on. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Somebody needs a booster shot.
Didn't even get the original.
Jesus, dude. Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. All right. So analog is the way to go. You get the more.
For me, it is.
You get more of the feel.
Okay, in my home, I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 different stereo setups, and so I've got all the bases covered, and lots of different equipment, lots of different tables.
Do you think so? Nowadays, some of these companies, like a record store or a label or independent producers, but they put together an album of sorts, almost in a way. Do you think Space Monkey will do that with a local artist album or anything like that?
That would just be kick ass. So to answer your question, it's all about the dollars it would take to make that happen. I'm guessing that would be a really high number.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap.
I don't know.
Right.
It's all relative, cheap and expensive. So one question I do have, we spoke a little bit about pets and how great they are. They get you through hard times. You agree, Meredith? Mm-hmm. They're pretty dope.
They are. Especially cats.
Cat or dog?
Cats.
Cat. I'm a dog lover. Okay.
I noticed.
I like emotion, and I don't like cold, frail little demon children that claw me when I try to pet them. So that being said, speaking of said demon children, do you guys have a store pet?
Yeah, Ringo. And he loves love. He does not give you the cold shoulder.
Okay.
He loves love.
There that little creature is right
He's not
there
little.
on your screen. Yeah, that is, we used a skinny lens apparently because in the cat world, Ringo's what we refer to as a double wide.
He's plus size, yes.
That's actually a Snapchat filter.
No, it's not.
It's the skinny filter. No, man. So Ringo, that's a tabby cat. I know that much. So where does Ringo get involved in the store? Where does this tabby cat come from?
We put on Craigslist.
We sought
You said
out,
we need a record cat.
We sought out a rock star cat. And, and it had to have just the right personality because, you don't want him biting somebody or pissing on somebody.
They have to like music.
Got to like loud music.
And people. And he does. He loves people.
I'm going to have to come shake Ringo's paw, dude. If he bites me, Pat,
Ringo,
this friendship is going to shit fast.
Ringo has the biggest fan base
He does.
of any of us.
That's outstanding. And then one mention that I had to make that we were talking about how with your success and the folks that you get to meet, the different folks you get to meet. I feel like there's not only because you guys are one of the most predominant record vinyl sales folks in Evansville, but I also feel like a good point to make, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like if you own a record player, like you're spending money on records. You know what I mean? Like it's a thing that you're going to often spend money on. If you purchased this huge piece of machinery that plays this huge disc, like I feel like you're going to frequent where. So do you see a lot of like return cut, like the same folks that come through? It's
Very
like the
much
same,
so. Yeah.
you know, like 30 customers by name, like by
Yeah.
first name
Well,
basis.
I really remember people by their musical interest. That's how I remember them by. But
Okay.
I remember people buy their shoes, and that's
No.
why
Pat barely
people with more
remembers.
than one pair, it's really hard to keep track of.
Most humans, Pat. Most humans. We don't live in the 30s.
What-
It's
one of
not
the-
the Great Depression. We
One of
have
the
multiple shoes.
things that Meredith does that just astounds me is, she just has this youthful mind that remembers all these names and faces. Not just that, but the kind of music that they like. What records they've already bought. And I'm thinking, holy shit.
What do you think one of the weirdest genres of music you guys have on vinyl?
oh god,
God bless you.
I mean, there's so much weird stuff on vinyl. Like they have
Yoko Ono.
public service announcements for EBT food stamps, like national
Where
service.
you can buy records on.
I
food
swear to God, I swear to you, I swear. From back in the day, yes, they would put like public service announcements, and like that's some
Could you
weird
imagine
shit.
like a podcast on a fucking
Hold on.
vinyl?
The advertisement is on the vinyl disc?
Yes, it's a food stamp vinyl. It's a public
I
service
need Sarah
announcement.
McLaughlin's commercial for the dogs
In
on
the
vinyl.
arms of an
Only
angel.
you can prevent starving
Yeah.
animals.
And it
Yeah, that's what you hear.
And it comes with a
It is
VHS
like
tape that you can
the
play in synchrony.
announcement.
Dude, so what's so you're the more personable of the two, I'm assuming.
Clearly.
So you remember a lot of these folks that come through.
Yeah.
Do you guys both work like every day? You're both in the store every day, Monday through Friday or Monday
Well,
through Saturday?
The great thing about it is we're all part-time because the store is only open 29 hours a week.
Oh.
We open at noon, crack of dawn.
Right. For
And we
rock
close at
stars.
5, and we're closed on Mondays.
You guys are coming in with a latte, dark shades on. You're like hungover. You're like, damn. I just came back from the gentleman's club that closed 1 hour ago.
we're all part-time, because I already pointed out I should be retired. This is tough on an old guy.
Is that Monday through Friday?
No.
No, Tuesday
It's
through Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday, noon to 5, Sunday, noon to 4, closed Mondays.
So during those hours, you guys both work pretty much hand in hand all those days and all those hours together?
Well, it kind of depends because Meredith is on top of the social media, but we're together a lot.
Okay. So between the two of you, do you guys have like a most memorable moment that has ever happened in the store where it was like you had to like
while you work
like
there.
a guy came in like a unicycle and a top hat, and you were just like, what in the fuck is going on right now? Something like that. That's what I imagine in my head, but I'm sure you have.
Here's one hot off the press that just happened the other day.
The cat?
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Okay, so some people are really terrified of cats. Okay?
I'm one of them.
They're
Like-
frightening.
Extremely terrified. And I don't come across them too often. But anyways, this lady comes in and she's looking for the CD, and I don't have my CDs organized like I do my vinyl. So I'm like, if you don't want to look, we can go up and we can order it. So she starts walking up towards the front with me, and here comes Ringo around the corner. And she loses her mind. I mean, she is screaming bloody murder, running backwards. She's like, oh my God, a cat! Ah! Like, she's like freaking out, and she runs out. She's like, thank you, never mind, and runs out the store.
She
And
didn't buy
was
anything?
She was gone.
she is
And
like
she was terrified.
Arms flailing.
Terrified.
Now, I will say that
She
I
got in the car and grinded the gears to reverse.
correct. Yeah, in her 3 on the tree. Correct me if I'm wrong. She was probably Mormon. I don't think the Mormons like cats. I think they're like demonic. I think they are. I'm pretty sure they are. Now, somebody out there in the comment section, Google me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I grew up with a lot of Mormons, and by I grew up with, I mean in the last 8 years. I'm 33 years old. But yeah, I know a lot of Mormons, and I'm like 90% sure they like despise cats. Like they don't have them on their farms and stuff.
Well, was she in
a long dress with a bonnet?
No.
It's
It was
typically a
like
dead giveaway.
she saw a ghost. Like she was absolutely
Maybe she just
terrified.
had like some PTSD, like some past
I don't
trauma.
know.
You know?
How often are like DJs coming in to like get vinyls to like? Do they even do that anymore? Where they-
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, they do.
Larry Watts, I hope you're listening.
Yeah. All I'll say about the freaked out cat lady is that her and Graber turned around and got the hell out of there.
Right. Like she
So
didn't
maybe
watch-
there is something to that.
I don't know, dude.
I even offered to put him in the bathroom.
I don't know, bro.
Because it wasn't my first time
Don't
that
ever
that's
put
happened.
an animal in the bathroom.
I mean, if he has to sit there for 10 minutes, he'll be okay.
Come on,
While I
man. Then
order
he's going to
tea.
like crap in your sink or something.
No.
Nobody wants
He's a
that.
good boy.
Oh, okay. So you don't have any issues with like, oh, there's a poopy on the floor or something. No issue?
No, he's a good
My
boy.
dogs would. So that's one benefit you have over me.
On the subject of funny stories, she hit on one that I don't know. Looking back is kind of funny. Is when a drunk drove through our store
Oh, yeah.
last summer. In fact, I think
Just
we've got
pulled right out of front
Yeah, we have a
here and went
picture
across
I
the
think
of
we
street.
got a photograph. Of
No.
Corey, do you have a photo? Corey, do you have a photo of the? There's
There's
a.
a-
carnage.
The car outside.
I think we
Yeah,
can pull
There's
this up.
actually a side road right off.
A picture of a car.
A back,
Smashed
not
into our
not a
building.
car. It's a
Oh, you-
back office that is just in total disarray with records and file cabinets that
Oh, you left the.
We're gonna take a
car
quick.
out?
We're gonna take a quick break. So we are talking about this car that
Drove through your place of business.
What the hell happened?
Well, it's funny in hindsight. It definitely was not funny that night, but apparently a drunken motorist decided that we needed a drive-through window. And thank God it was not through the front showroom. It come into our back office and
But the worst part about it was where he hit is 3 gas meters. So it filled up Space Monkey, it filled up Clocks of the World, which is right next to us, and then it filled up our back store. And then Ringo was stuck in there, and it was filled with gas. So that was the worst part of it, I would say.
my God.
And with the back.
What if there
room
would have been
and-
a fire?
Yeah,
He gets
it
out
was,
of the car and lights a cigarette.
it was bad.
What if Ringo lights a cigarette?
I did. I walked out of the car. I was the first one there. I walked out of the car. I had a cigarette. They're like, put it out. And, I mean, I had no idea. It was on Evansville Watch.
she said, "I'll put it out after I finish it."
Right. Let me get to the butt of this first.
Yeah, let me finish it first.
Find my fucking cat and I'll put it
Yeah, I was like, I need my cat. I do have pictures of him he's in my passenger seat. What the
Now,
fuck is
You
going on?
said he jumped into your arms.
Yeah, he was. He
Yeah,
was.
he was
freaked-
high as fuck.
He was super freaked out.
Oh, he was probably really sleepy too. He's not a smoker though, Ringo.
No.
Thank goodness for the sake of the store.
Ringo could have went out with a bang.
Quite
Now,
literally.
do y'all give
So
Ringo
sad.
that nip?
Oh,
I've never. I should take him some catnip. I should.
now they're doing these THC CBD treats, dude, and it's a different level.
Oh my god.
It's a different level of hysteria, dude.
I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know about that.
I watched my dog lay on their belly and run for like an hour
On his belly?
on their side,
Oh.
running full gallop.
It's called sleeping.
I don't know what you call it. Yeah, just full stride. Like legs were crossing over one another. I was like, man, that's, I wish it was legal in here in Indiana. So they drive. That's what we got pulled up on the screen. Is it this white car that pulls in? That dude is
Yeah.
such an asshole.
Well, see-
honestly, anybody
He didn't
that
pull in.
anybody that drives this shitty looking Ford, like this dude for sure, like he this isn't his first time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no.
This
I
dude's
looked up
an
his
asshole.
criminal record.
You're the third store this week for this
I
guy.
really dug into his life. really dug into his life.
a deep dive.
I did.
What's
I
his
did.
name? Gerald?
I can't remember his name. I got it all the information's on my phone. No, but the neighbors came and showed us the video, and there's like a side street, and he just hit it, like was just flying down that side street until he ran into the building.
What happened when he collided? Did he get out
He
and run?
hopped straight out, had his phone, and walked.
We watched him on video.
I got the video on my phone. I got everything on my phone.
Damn. You're like a PI.
Yeah.
Speaking of videos, you guys want to watch me pass out real fast?
Oh, Corey, pull up the. You guys got to see this. So you thought I was joking earlier about passing out during the show.
I didn't think you were joking at all.
No, I didn't think you were.
The kids would say I'm dead ass, Pat. Corey, can you pull this up sooner than later, dude? I swear. He's like, I'm trying.
I can't get it to pull
up. Did you text it? Did you text it? Oh, that's why. Because Corey doesn't know what he's doing. He's not a Mac user. So essentially,
What is this shit on a potato?
so essentially,
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, Sputnik.
it was shot from the ISS space
Yeah, there's
station.
the carnage inside.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the
Wow.
inside. Jesus, dude,
Yeah.
they fucked up your microwave, dude.
Yeah.
They fucked up everything.
No fucking decency. You don't fuck
Almost
with.
got the pizza oven on top.
You don't
They
fuck with.
smashed a bunch of jugs of water and that poured all over. Yeah, it was
Look
great.
how grainy this is.
Oh, dude, that's terrible. That's hot booty.
Fucking 1080i potato.
This is like every gas station robbery video I've ever seen. He drops right here, dude. He just
There
goes.
he
to-
goes.
Oh my god!
This is live on air.
It looks like he was overserved to me.
No, sir. No, says
I
I.
love your fucking. Oh god! Now you're like, oh shit, he's out.
There's the guest. That's Steve
Help!
Matthews there.
Help!
I told you I was yelling at my wife. Like, come here, come here.
Wow.
Can you move faster? I talk shit to my wife all the time, but she hits me, so it equals out. No, dude. So, yeah, that's not the first time somebody would have passed out on the Days Grimm. But nudity is to come. I think we're really,
We did have a guest that went to the bathroom and came back in naked one time.
yeah, full frontal
What?
male
No
nudity.
kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
male.
Oh,
male.
male.
That's
male.
very
Well,
progressive.
that's different.
Yeah, we're very liberal.
Very casual.
Yeah, we don't really care. Dress however or don't. Whatever you want, really. That was actually pre-YouTube channel. So now that we're in the YouTube universe, we have to mind our P's and Q's. But there is a Patreon coming. Nudity is going to be a go. I don't know what that looks like, but if it happens, it happens.
Looks
Let's
like a
just say
blurred
that.
image.
We're going to be talking about dick tattoos. I promise you that. That's going to be shown on screen, guys, live on the Days Grimm.
So, Pat, do you play any music yourself?
Yeah, no, he said he had no talent. Can you play anything? Do you do the recorder?
You know, I put up a meme recently, and it was a magazine cover called Mediocre Guitar Player. And to me, that's hilarious because I are one.
There you go.
And nobody thinks it's funny but
Me too. No, I think that's hilarious. I love that.
Do you play any
love-
music, Meredith?
When I was in school, I played the violin, but that's it.
Oh, damn. Okay. I like the old
couldn't.
fiddle.
She's
do
always
that.
playing the violin around the music store.
Really? You just
Yeah,
walk
the
around and hit
customers
the
are
fiddler
love
on the
it.
roof?
Yeah.
Fiddler on the roof.
No.
She's a fucking savant, just freaking the fuck out. It's like I heard somebody in the back room with the dead possum playing Bach or Beethoven. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Couldn't
back
tell if
there.
that was a violin or viola.
Yeah, I didn't know what, dude. So do you know the difference between a fiddle and a violin? Is there a difference? I don't know.
I honestly don't know. I have not picked up a violin.
Just one's in a trailer and the other one's not.
I guess.
I know. that
Checks
the-
out. Checks out, dude. I don't know, bro. Bro, don't look at me like that. I don't. What's the difference between a fiddle and a violin? If someone can tell me,
believe
can you Google what the
that
difference is between
only the fiddle can be a golden fiddle, as told by Charlie Daniels. You know.
Oh yeah,
The fiddle of gold.
the CBD or the CDB. Sorry, Charlie Daniels Band. What's the difference between a fiddle and a violin? Because this is pertinent to this conversation. I need to know. Type faster.
Wow, this has already been.
You.
It's a joke.
Oh, it's a joke.
Oh, I didn't know there. Don't take the joke out. We don't care about the joke.
The words fiddle and violin are two names for the same stringed instrument.
They-
Fiddle is just an informal
they don't say
way-
anything about-
It's the same.
It's the
thing.
way they play it, I
Wow.
assume.
It's the same thing. It's a twang.
I think it depends how you play it and where you play it. If you're in a trailer, immediately a violin becomes a fiddle.
One has more
It's
syllables.
in the context.
Yeah.
The context.
Fiddle. Violin trailer park. I don't know. Let's sound it out, folks. Figure it out. Figure it out, folks. Hey, folks at home, you figure it out. I don't know. I don't have all the fucking answers. Dude,
So what was it like coming out of COVID? Like, did business start to pick up more, or
So we're passing the pistol back and forth.
like
She'd
Russian
spin it.
roulette style?
I don't think that's a good
I'd
analogy,
spin it.
Pat. I don't think. Not great. Let's not do. No, I'm joking. A lot of is happening. Let's not talk firearms.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
All right.
I'm joking. No, we're passing the pistol. Okay, Russian roulette. 2 guys, one bottle.
We used COVID to our advantage because at that point we had no electronics. At that point we had no online store.
Okay.
And when the doors were locked, we were tooling up for new segments of our business.
So basically, it was
Sick,
like a
man.
pivotal point to where
It
Meredith
really
had
was.
to make an online store.
We were able to. We got like a section alphabetized in the store. Lots of progress was made. So
You're able to add that library code basically to all
Yeah.
your records.
We got Ringo all brushed out,
right. Got him vaccinated up on his rabies.
Did he get his COVID shots and boosters?
Dude, they tried
or-
to get me to get my dogs vaccinated for COVID.
Oh, dude, don't touch my fucking dog, dude. I got this shot for you, bro. Fuck you. You're not touching my dog. Get the fuck out of here. No, not happening. I did get the shot. Thomas did not. I don't care where you guys
Well,
stand.
you got the Johnson & Johnson.
for
of,
sure,
like,
I
all
get
of them.
cancer in the next 5 years. For 100% sure. 100% sure this show ends in 5 years.
They gave him a year supply of the Johnson & Johnson
This
oil,
show-
the lube, the coconut oil.
This show for sure ends in 5 years when I get cancer and die. That being said, so we've got a nice picture pulled up here of who's this third gang member here, and what's the? Oh, it's the. I get the joke. Okay,
It's another
What's happening
member
here?
of our posse.
Who?
That's Super G, Greg.
Super G. Is he gang affiliated or?
In the senior division.
Okay, he runs a lot of the old folks' homes.
He's got that silver
Actually-
slippers card.
Actually,
Silver sneakers. He's got that silver sneakers card, bro. He's got the fucking sneaks, dude.
Actually, Greg takes care of all of our vendor mall locations. So
Okay.
he's like constantly taking records to eight
his and
different
hers
locations.
and stuff like that.
He looks like a kind of gentleman that would have a nice aluminum baseball bat on hand at any given moment.
He looks like a very serious individual. Do you notice the only one smiling there is Meredith? Because we're hooked up with these Jenny name tags
Now-
because
don't zoom in now, you fucking turd burglar. Zoom out. Zoom out. You're the worst producer I've ever had. Zoom out.
It's business in the back, party in the front.
Shout out to the mullet. All right, here we go. So, so you were saying, Pat, this is
it took us forever to get this phone number. When I was growing up, 867-5309 was a McCutcheonville exchange. And
what does that mean? Is this
Well,
like a vendor mall? Are you throwing weird shops at me again?
Meredith, will you join me in singing?
What's
the phone
happening
number?
right now? What is going on? I'm so confused.
Here we go.
867-5309.
Yes. When you dial that in Evansville, ladies and gentlemen, that rings right into Space Monkey Records. And it took me forever to negotiate a deal to get that number from AT&T because it was so old that in their computers it was tied to a specific geographical area in Evansville, and they just couldn't make it work even with their supercomputer. But after a year of trying, I prevailed. We have that number, and it rings constantly, particularly on weekends.
Yeah.
You have to
Oh,
call up
nice.
Snowden to be like, hey, I need you to pull some strings with AT&T.
Do you know the Snowden story? Do you know about Snowden?
No.
Snowden was a gentleman who Thomas,
whistleblower.
yeah, he's a whistleblower on
I know.
He worked for the government, but the government was using AT&T to basically store everybody's text and information.
It was during the Patriot Act time, 2001 time frame when the towers went down, 9/11. Never forget. Yep.
I know he released all that
Nice.
stuff online.
But he was the one that came out and he was like, "Hey, the Patriot Act is like fucking hearing your phone calls, and they're
I
they're
remember that
fucking,
in the
they're
news.
hearing you talk to strippers on the phone and stuff, and they're like taking your Snapchats and all. Like they were taking everything from everyone. And granted, they caught a lot of bad guys, but
now he lives in Russia. So.
Yeah, because the U.S. wants him extradited and hanged, which is the proper vernacular.
Which is
Hanged.
really cool how he snuck the information out on like an SD card but put it in a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, there's a really great film on Netflix about It's called Snowden, or is it a TV series?
I don't fucking know.
It's really great. Check it out. No, but so your phone number here is paying tribute to who sings that song?
Tommy Two-Tone.
Tommy Two-Tone. 8675309. Call
Yeah.
Jenny for a good time. Was Jenny a prostitute? That's the real question, guys.
If not,
Was she
she
a
was at
floozy?
least pretty slutty.
Was she a floozy?
I'm sure she was.
My grandma Virginia. Shout out, Grandma Virginia. Grandma Virginia would call these kind of women floozies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Okay, so last weekend, Meredith gets a call on the Jenny line, which is like the last phone we will answer because our customers have a backdoor number for legitimate business purposes.
Inquiries.
You know, you figure 19 out of 20 calls is going to be total bullshit. So tell them about the call you received last weekend.
These people call, and there's a lot of them. You can tell there's a lot of them. And they're like, we've been calling, every area code, and finally you answer. We love you. They were calling from a bar in Ohio.
Sound like they'd been
in the
drinking.
middle of the day.
These fucking assholes.
Like,
Listen,
where are you located? Can I?
Yeah,
pull
they're like,
up,
you're a record store?
listen
This
here,
is so
Ohio. No one gives a shit.
They actually were a lot of fun. Usually it's the same old shit. Is this Jenny?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
where do you go from there? Yeah, it's Jenny.
Hey,
Yeah, it's Jenny. How do you like your train wreck?
yeah. Hey, listen, Ohio, your water is still bad.
I've gotten a lot of crazy stuff on that phone. A lot.
Yeah, she's gotten pics because it's it's on a cell phone. It's on a cell phone, and that's just the way it is.
Or people, when they get caught cheating, and they give off that number to their significant other, and so they'll blow the phone up. I will get nasty text messages and phone calls. I've had people
I
have
wish
their
I had that
kids
line.
call.
I need a popular number line that so like when these like spam messengers message me, I toy with
No,
them.
you
I sit
don't.
there and toy with them for hours on hours.
That phone has over 3,000 text messages, and like that's just one day.
Can
like,
we
it
get you guys
just-
to come in for a show where you bring this phone in and we just respond to messages for an hour?
We should do a Saturday episode where we just hang out, drink booze, and answer the Jenny line. Hello,
funny
you're live
thing
on the
is-
Days
You're gonna
Grimm.
get a lot
Hello,
of
you're live
Medicare
on the Jenny
calls
line.
and
The funny thing
extended
is
car
that
warranties.
My UPS lady, if we go back like 25 years ago, had that number. Now remember, Jenny 867, that was a hit approximately 40 years ago.
84, 5,
whenever.
6.
So we're going back 25 years. I meet this lady that has it, and she confides in me. She says, yeah, we don't ever answer. We just have it on the answering machine.
Yeah.
And she says, because it rings constantly. I said, well, why don't you change it? She says, it's kind of cool.
I kind of like to see some random every now and then. No, I'm
No.
joking. No, yeah, nobody likes.
I've stopped
honestly,
opening.
Yeah, honestly, like if you're
Yeah.
gentlemen out there in Ohio, specifically, I'm talking to you. If you're sending unsolicited pics, not fucking cool, bro.
Yeah, I
Not
wish we
fucking
had that.
This
cool,
was a
bro.
different bar group.
Like you just see like a
Yeah, the whole group sends their picture in. Oh, rate us. We're trying to figure out.
There's like a shot of Jameson in the fucking shot.
You got to have your product placement.
You never took a bottle of alcohol and put it next to?
yeah. I usually use hairspray or Tic Tac containers.
Jenny, fucking
No, man. So that's how folks can get a hold of you. Now, you said something about a backdoor number. Is that something?
Yeah,
you
we're
give
not
out?
going to give that out.
Okay, we give that.
But you can also send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. That's like the easiest way to get a hold of me.
That's important for a lot of the folks that listen to the show. We've gotten several DMs from folks about like, well, that was great that you had these people on, but you didn't mention how we can get a hold of them. So that we like to emphasize how they can get a hold of you.
So you said your store emphasizes mainly rock, but you guys still have hip hop records and everything along those lines.
Jazz,
Jazz, blues,
country.
country. Yeah,
do you have any Yoko?
I do.
You do? Do you know where it's at in the store?
I do.
I feel like you have to.
I'm going to bring you one.
Have you? I will take it off your hands. Like, I don't want to pay for it because who fucking would? No.
It's not worth anything anyway.
We're having a conversation right now, Meredith. Let me get this Yoko. Can I? Okay, I have to. Fun fact, real quick. Every Friday at my work, at my 9 to 5 job, I have a radio that I play 104.1 Wiki all day, every day, because it's a very office-like setting, so it's got to be friendly, family-friendly stuff. So we play all 104.1 Wiki, but on Fridays, shit gets a little weird. Fridays, I turn the Bluetooth on, and we listen to a lot of Katy Perry, and then when we wrap the day up, we go Yoko Ono for at least
I'll tell
30
you what.
minutes.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna-
The entire office
I would hate you.
hates me, but they've also...
Yeah, I would hate
They've
you.
all started following Yoko Ono on Spotify. They all have started following her.
I'm going to make you a deal. I'm going to give you
I will take it.
a Yoko Ono album if I don't hear Yoko Ono for the rest of this interview.
Okay.
Is that fair
Perfect.
enough?
Perfect. I'm holding you to it, though.
Now,
Shake.
absolutely.
Shake on it.
absolutely.
Okay.
Now,
Done.
I will tell you,
That's a collector's
getting back
piece.
to the communication thing, that Facebook is absolutely positively the number one way that we communicate with customers, because they'll shoot her a list of what they're looking for, and she makes it happen.
Do you guys have Instagram as well? Do you reply
do.
to IG DMs as
Yeah.
well? Corey, do we have their Instagram pulled up? Can you roll into that? Yeah, just pull that up and then search them. Yeah, just click there. Click there. It's in the DMs already. Go to the messages, Corey, please. To the right. To the right. Yeah, there you go. Click that, please. Let's check this out. Up top, very top one. But so you do respond to your DMs on the IG as well. I find that I get most reception from people on Instagram versus Facebook. Do you find that one is better than the other? Or
No, I do both. I will admit I don't give Instagram enough attention. I've been trying to. That's
She's been
my
building
main
it.
goal. Yeah, I've been building it slowly.
Can we pull up their IG, Corey, like their actual page? Just click on their name. Yeah, there you go. Let's see kind of what we're working with here. But yeah, dude. So you guys just have to like DM these folks, man, Facebook or IG. And then obviously 867-5309, area code 812. Give them a shout. It's been really, really wild getting to know you, Pat and Meredith. You guys are a fun bunch. I really enjoyed it.
Ask for them by name.
One thing we like to touch on. So the premise behind the Days Grimm, if you will, we are a fun bunch. We like to joke a lot, often not about very appropriate stuff. So, oh, my microphone just came off. That being said, what was the darkest moment during this travel? I'm improving entirely. I'm just going to hold this here. Okay, so during this journey of opening a record store, what was your darkest moment, and how and what did you persevere? How did you persevere, and what was the thing that pulled you through it?
Well, I'll do a part one. Meredith can elaborate, but I hate to like run this particular segment, but really COVID has been the only downtime that we've had. We've been continuously amazed at how people have latched on and followed us in social media when COVID hit, and I had to lock the doors. That kind of broke my heart. I thought, well, we'll just become a essential business with my cleanser loophole angle, but that didn't work out. So the only thing we knew to do is, just proceed with where we knew we were going anyway, and it really turned out to be a very positive thing. So, I don't have any gloom and doom stories. What are your thoughts, Meredith?
I mean, that would have been the same thing that I would have said.
And you guys just adapted with an online presence.
Yeah, we just rolled with the flow.
I feel like COVID had like a lot of people, like especially the small town local brick and mortar folks, like just devastated.
Well, I guess I could have applied to, get the government help.
You didn't?
I did not because I didn't feel like I needed it, and I knew we could hang in there for
weather
as
the
long
storm
as it took. So the storm appeared, the storm passed. It's all good, man.
We didn't see any fucking locusts, so we're not tapping out. That's what I'm taking away from this.
What
dude.
piece of advice would you give to people that want to get involved in the music industry?
Good
Don't
question.
do it. Don't do it. I tell you what, one of the things that we hear over and over from people that are in the store is, I'd work here for free,
Yeah,
because
I doubt
it's
it.
kind of a cool environment and it's got good music,
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, maybe a day or two you would, but bottom line is, it is hard work to do what we do. People just don't have any idea of how labor intensive it is. I mean, there's Meredith and I and like 3 other part-timers that kind of all work together to make the magic happen. But it's it's a tough gig, and again, with the heart of a musician and like-minded people, we just like it. It's weird. We like the hard work.
It's important to make the magic happen. You know what I'm saying? # David Copperfield. We like to give you the or David Blaine, whatever your sip of water is. You know what I mean? So we like to give the last couple minutes to you guys for you guys have been a LLC and brick and mortar for the last 3.5 years. Huh?
5.
5 years?
4. We'll settle out of court.
We'll call it 4. I said 3. He said 5. The people
4.
that own the business said 4. We're going with 4. So for the I'm fucking stupid. I'm so.
I mean, technically, we're at 3.5 until August.
Listen, I was in slow classes in 3rd grade. Okay, so you're lucky we've gotten this far in the interview, and it hasn't all come off the rails. No, but so you've come this far in the last 4 years. So who are some of the folks? So the last couple minutes, give the shout outs to the folks that have helped you guys independently.
Who's gotten you to where you're at? Who's
together.
getting you to where you're going? And where can people find you?
Yeah, social medias and stuff like that.
What do you got?
You.
We don't want to
Yeah.
thank anybody.
No.
We did it all by the
No.
sweat of our brow. It was all us, me and her.
No child labor.
Egyptians.
Oh my God! Jesus!
Jesus wasn't around yet. This is
know-
about 1,000 years before Jesus.
On a serious note,
No.
the customers. I mean, our customers are the best.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for our customers, we wouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for Pat believing in me and trusting me, then we wouldn't be doing this thing together.
I trust her, for the most part.
Right.
For the most
Yeah.
part.
It all boils down to that really, really creepy meeting you guys had.
She knew it could have went so bad, just like that.
So we're gonna spin up our outro music. Corey, don't blast my eardrums out. Last minute or two, tell people where they can get a hold of you guys. Social medias, 867-5309, website, whatever. It's all you.
Recordgroove.net is our e-commerce store. We got spacemonkeyrecords.com. That's our informational website. You got spacemonkeyradio.com if you want to listen to our free radio. You can send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. Space Monkey Records, Evansville.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It's been a wild ride getting to know you guys. Seriously, you could have done anything for the last 2 hours, and the fact that you came in here and had to deal with our shitty DJ, it really means a lot to us, man. So just thanks for being like genuine folks and like good people. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon. I'm making a stop in, so hopefully you'll be there.
Yeah, you've got an album to pick up that will be not mentioned by title, but it'll be there for you.
Don't tell anybody where you got
Hey,
it.
it has absolutely been a blast, guys.
No.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
thank you.
inviting
Thank you guys
us.
so much. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
This is Pat, and this is Meredith from Space Monkey Records. Goodbye.